We're gonna be going over and reacting to a video I was scrolling on YouTube. I have not watched it yet. I've been in conditioning a lot and thinking about conditioning a lot, and this happened to pop up on my feed. So, as a rugby player, conditioning is super important, so you don't get gassed. If you don't know me, I'm Nick Lyon. I'm a certified strength and conditioning coach. Worked with hundreds of athletes, but let's get into it. So, how to double your stamina in 1 week. And this video has over 379,000 views and 117 comments and 11,000 likes. So hopefully what they're saying in here is good, or we just had about 379 people believe some bullshit. So let's get into it.
Stamina is an underrated fitness component that deserves more recognition. It is, after all, the underlying factor behind improving other fitness goals. And to boost your stamina, you must challenge yourself. The principle of progressive overload plays a major role in developing your stamina. The main takeaway of this principle is that you won't boost in any capacity if you keep doing the same workouts at the same intensity over and over again.
So that's totally true. In order to see progress, you definitely have to progressively overload the body, and you can't do that by doing the same shit over and over and over, right? So, in terms of strength training, this is pretty easy. It's like, okay, we're adding 5 pounds, or we're adding some reps, or we're increasing the difficulty with tempo, or we're adding frequency, right? So that's kind of how it works in the strength realm, which is pretty easy to understand. But with conditioning, it also applies as well. Like, you have to continue to challenge the body in order to progress further. So far so good with laying out the basic principles.
So what do you do then to amplify your stamina? There are a lot of ways, actually. Say cycling, meditating, or going for long walks, to name a few. Continue watching this video until the end to learn more.
Okay, hold on. Cycling, yes. Meditating, no. There's not a fucking chance you're increasing your stamina by meditating. There's no demand on the body. You're sitting there relaxing and recovering. You're not pushing yourself. You're not increasing your aerobic capacity or in any regard. So right off the bat, there's already one that's a little bullshit.
Before we continue, a like would be great. What is stamina? Stamina refers to the amount of time you can perform at your maximum capacity before becoming exhausted. The better your stamina, the more efficient you become.
That's not necessarily true. I would say that's more like your aerobic or anaerobic capacity, or even maybe in some terms like your lactate threshold before you can't move anymore. But for general purposes, I think this is kind of a fine way to describe it, I guess, if you're more of a beginner.
Become at just about everything, both physically and mentally. Here's what to do to double your stamina. Number 1, go for long walks. An easy way to enhance your stamina is to move your body for long periods. Consider walking for 30 to 60 minutes, especially for newbies. This is a brilliant way of building your stamina as well as endurance. In fact, advanced exercises can still experience the stamina boosting effects of long distance walking so long as they increase their speed and intensity. Number 2, add running intervals. If you think walking isn't enough to improve your stamina, then consider.
Yeah, for most athletes, walking is not going to improve your stamina. I mean, you're just not getting your heart rate up high enough into zone 2, zone 3 for it to even be considered, aerobic based type of training. So it's for most athletes, when we prescribe walking, it's more of a recovery modality or to lighten the intensity on them. But we're not really doing that. This would be for someone fucking super beginner, hasn't taken a step in 10 years, and they're just trying to get to their, hit 1,000 steps for the day. Yeah, cool. Or 10,000 steps for the day. That sure that can help. But for most athletes, that's nowhere near close enough.
Adding a few running intervals throughout your walk. Interval training is among the best methods for enhancing overall fitness, specifically when it comes to time efficiency. So
HIIT training is definitely beneficial. There's studies that show that HIIT training can help increase VO2 max and some of the things in there. So yeah, HIIT training, but again, it has to be super hard. And most of the HIIT training studies that they've done are on Tabata, where it's like 100 over 100% VO2 max, and then you rest and then do it again. So it's 20 seconds on as hard as you possibly can, 10 seconds off. Most people are nowhere near close enough to that training intensity to get the true kind of benefit of like true hit high intensity interval training. But we shall continue.
Next time you go for a walk, toss in a 30-second sprint every 3 to 4 minutes. Number 3, run hills and stairs. Don't want to increase your running distance? No problem. You can just tweak the way you run instead. If your place is nearby hills or hiking trails, then add hill runs to your routine and you'll see a significant difference in your stamina. No access to hills or hiking trails? The stairs and bleachers are great too. When you run in an uphill manner, it forces your lungs and legs to work hard. Number 4, try high volume weightlifting. According to studies, the most important factor in resistance training that enhances fitness is volume. Volume is the total load you lift in one session, a day, or a week. The figure is derived by multiplying the weight by reps. Generally speaking, a continuous increase in volume benefits any individual's fitness performance. For instance, if you're doing 3 sets of 10 squats at 100 pounds, then your total volume is 3 times 10 times 100, which equals 3,000 pounds. Number 5, decrease rest intervals during workouts. One effective way to double your stamina is to let yourself have less rest time, unless that is, you're lifting very heavy loads, in which
again, so the whole rest period things and decreasing rest periods, it just depends on the freaking stimulus you're after. So like, again, I know this is referring to stamina. I don't see the best way to increasing stamina is through lifting like heavy loads and then shortening your rest periods with it, because you're just targeting different energy systems. So if you're only resting for so long, you're eventually you're not going to be able to lift as heavy as a load, put out as high as force output, and you'll get more into that, like, I guess, your muscular endurance type state, but you're severely lacking the other aspects. So if that's the goal, I guess, in this area, I just really don't see strength training as being a way to necessarily improve your stamina as the sole goal. It's most likely going to be a backwards or a roundabout way of increasing stamina, because you're increasing force production, you're improving the strength of the muscles, you're improving like the ability to cycle in and out, different metabolites and things of that nature. And in a roundabout way, then when you go and do your stamina or conditioning type training, then you can run longer, run faster, all that, because of those other improvements. But from a straight like lung capacity, energy system training, I don't see that being the case.
You should be resting for 3 to 5 minutes between sets for optimal strength gains. According to studies, reducing rest intervals while doing moderate to high intensity exercise improves physical performance and body composition. Shortening your rest interval compels you to do more work in less time.
So body composition straight up just comes down to what, like, calories in, calories out in your macronutrient profile. So I don't necessarily know if it matters for the rest periods to increase body composition. That's kind of false, because you can have really strong powerlifters who are absolutely jacked, who take super long rest periods, train really hard and rest, and they sit on a chair for 10 minutes, but they're in a weight class, so they're monitoring their nutrition, they're monitoring their macros, so they're not necessarily trying to gain weight, they're trying to drop fat, maybe even go into a lower weight class and maintain strength, and they're jacked. So I don't see rest interval. It's more of a macronutrient and calories in, calories out equation,
which should result in a stamina boost. Number 6, consider cycling. Whether you prefer road biking, indoor cycling, or mountain biking, either way, it's a great way to improve your stamina if you just increase the pace. In particular, indoor cycling is proven to enhance aerobic capacity, which is a major contributor to stamina as well as other health markers. Meanwhile, mountain cycling may be more effective at building muscular endurance and power due to the increased and variable resistance. Lastly, outdoor cycling can improve not just cardiovascular stamina, but also fitness levels and reduce the risks of cardiovascular disease. Number 7, have dance parties. Dancing is a fun and highly effective way of working out your lungs and muscles. In some cases,
I've been on the dance floor before. You're out there a couple, getting after it, you're sweating your ass off. So yeah, you could. It's just not my main. I want to do that, but these serum.
It requires you to try new positions and challenge your range of motion, thus improving your overall fitness. Furthermore, multiple scientific studies have shown that dancing drastically impacts health and fitness, from improved cardiovascular endurance to better mobility and balance. As an exercise, dance may also increase adherence for some people due to lower cost and transportation barriers. Number 8, add a dash of plyometric. Plyometrics is like the cheetah of exercise because of their explosive nature that forces you to put on the maximum force in a short period of time. Based on a study on female soccer players, it was found that a 6-week plyometric training program has improved their performance in jumping, sprinting, change of direction, and endurance. Additionally, plyometrics can help you build muscle and burn fat. Some great examples of plyometric exercise.
No, okay. You see what they did there? They're like, oh, plyometrics can improve all these markers. And then this whole video is about stamina, but then they say plyometrics are great for it, but then when they talk about the actual things that are improving, they're talking about jump performance, which is power output, and so the performance, they're talking about power and other aspects of it all, not even the stamina. And then burning fat, no. So it burns some calories, but anytime you have a very high intensity based exercise, you're going to pull those your energy sources from either creatine phosphate, which is typically what's happening with like explosive based exercise, like 0 to 10 seconds, 100% effort. You're pulling the creatine phosphate to create ATP immediately for those type of exercises because the intensity is so high. If it's still pretty high, 75, 80+%, then it goes to your glycolytic system, which is going to be pulling primarily using glycogen in carbohydrates to create that energy. So it's not necessarily the kind of aerobic system that is even, there's no like fat burning actually that's even happening. It's all ATP and carbohydrates, or creatine phosphate and carbohydrates that are burning. And then again, if you eat in a calorie deficit, you will then over the long term lose fat from it, but you're not actually burning and using the substrate fat as the main source of energy.
Sizes are squat thruster, plyo push-up, box drill, and frog squat jump. Is plyometrics not your cup of tea? Don't worry, there are many other exercises you can try too, like number 9, exercise. When doubling your stamina, there are a host of exercises that you can do. Plus, since improving your stamina is practically about achieving progressive overload, which is all about difficulty, then nearly any exercise is good for training your stamina, including cardiovascular exercises. High-intensity cardio exercises are incredible for your stamina. Through this form of exercise, you can monitor your heart rate or speed and how long you can perform at a particular rate. The most common approach for cardio-based stamina training is high-intensity interval training, or HIIT. HIIT involves alternating between short periods of intense workout and short periods of rest. Cardio workouts that train stamina are sprinting, jogging, street cycling, and mountain biking. Weightlifting. Weightlifting is a type of strength training that aims to increase resistance and build muscle through the use of weights like dumbbells, barbells, and kettlebells. This form of exercise is a great way to train your stamina because it allows...
Okay, what are we doing here? This video is not, the title is super misleading, right? It's saying how to increase your stamina how to double your stamina in 1 week, and then all they're doing is talking about the options of exercises that could potentially help. There's no protocol, or there's no like, hey, you're going to do XYZ, measure your baseline here, do this, perform all these trainings, and then go retest, and then you should have twice as good a result as before. So if you ran a mile, let's say that's the marker, in 10 minutes, and then you did all this shit that what in my eyes the video should be about. You can explain the background stuff, but then explain the protocol and what they're going to do. And then when they go retest, then they ran a 5-minute mile. That would be doubling your stamina, because there's actually a testing metric, and then there's a protocol, and then there's the data-driven, like the results that you get from it. Right now, there's just a lot of smoke up people's ass right now on this.
Allows you to increase the load and perform more reps with each motion. Popular weightlifting exercises include weighted squats, weighted lunges, and bench presses. Number 10, play sports. Many
Yes.
sports require complex skill sets that are more often than not outside a person's comfort zone. If your body is already used to weightlifting, running, or other relatively monotonous movements, consider switching one workout weekly with a sports game. Destructuring your fitness routine could, if counterintuitively, improve your stamina and fitness. Plus,
Okay, I mean, I definitely agree with a portion of that statement. I think anytime you can gamify your conditioning or strength training or whatever it is, like you're going to have a lot better long-term adherence. Plus, you're also, if you're a competitive person, then you're going to want to play hard. So, like, there was a point in my life where I was playing racquetball like 2 to 3 times a week. I wasn't doing any cardio, but it was so much cutting, going back and forth, running, like playing hard against my buddies, like slamming into the walls, all that stuff. Like we played hard. We played for like 2, 3 hours a day. Not every single day, but yeah, my like cardio respiratory fitness definitely increased because of the energy output I was doing and how long I was doing it. And it was fun. And I didn't even feel like I was training. So yeah, for sure. I agree with that. Adding some sports definitely can help.
it also helps you work on other physical skills. For example, when playing soccer, you'd also be doing several movements like sprinting, jogging, walking, cutting, kicking, dodging, and even throwing, depending on your position. All those different movements in just one sports game make way for a fun and challenging stamina booster. Number 11, listen to music. A good song can pump up your workout, yes or no? Definitely yes. In fact,
Okay,
evidence shows that music can indeed
that's the
alter a
roundabout way.
person's
Got
mood.
it.
It may even help improve cardiovascular efficiency. According to a small study that involved participants who listened to their preferred music during exercise, the said participants experienced a lower heart rate than those that did not. More research is still necessary to further solidify these findings. That said, the
So we'll put it
implication
in
is
our
clear.
video.
If a person listens to music that they enjoy during a workout, their stamina may improve. Number 12, drink coffee pre-workout.
Okay,
Coffee
yeah,
is a known
caffeine
energy
definitely
booster.
has
It's all
benefits. Makes
because of
you
the
perform
caffeine,
better.
which
It's
makes the
widely
body and
studied.
mind feel alert and may increase a person's productivity. Moreover, coffee contains antioxidants called polyphenols that may reduce oxidative stress and help the body function optimally. However, keep in mind that coffee is a stimulant, thus should be consumed moderately. Too much of it may cause energy loss as the body withdraws from the caffeine. Number 13, try meditation. Stamina isn't just purely physical, but it also includes mental pursuits. This is why adding mindfulness practices like meditation, deep breathing, or yoga to your overall wellness routine can improve your mental stamina. Any of these mindfulness practices will challenge you to overcome perceived boredom and handle stress.
I don't like this and how they're using it because people are gonna like meditate and think that it's gonna improve their stamina. Well, I mean, having mental fortitude and mental resilience and being able to take control of your not mind and not let thoughts wander and like positive self-talk and hyping yourself up and going through the shit, yeah, that can all help not let your body quit because your mind is a lot stronger than your actual body. And you can always push a little bit harder and go a little harder and give more effort. So I do like that part about it, but I don't think that you necessarily get all of that through meditation. I think you actually have to put yourself in the situations which are hard, which are shitty, which you want to quit and not do it and give yourself the experience and confidence that you can push through things. And then that's how you build discipline. That's how you build mental toughness. That's how you build mental fortitude. It's in the moment that I believe you actually get the development of that kind of mental resiliency.
Two factors that can affect how long you can exercise at a near maximum level. Based on a study, practicing 6 weeks of yoga and meditation can enhance mental stamina, as in less stress and improved patience and well-being. Number 14, rest and recover. Finally, you must always have recovery days scheduled into your workout routine. Contrary to popular belief, exercising in itself isn't what boosts your fitness. Rather, it's the repair and rebuild phase that does the work, aka during your rest days. It's why having enough rest is critical to your improvement over time. If you work out intensely every day, your body never gets the chance to recover. In the end, it won't be able to repair those damaged muscle fibers. Stamina is among the many components of fitness. On that note, click here to learn the fitness tips that will change your.
All right. On that last note, I mean, yeah, recovery is super important. Just if you're training hard, your central nervous system will slowly get like fried. Your muscles won't recover, and like you'll slowly get into overtraining and have a decrease in performance for sure. So recovery is important. I think people don't take enough of it. They try to add too much shit on their actual recovery days instead of just like sleeping and chilling and eating good food and actually sleeping. Like if people cover those aspects, yeah, they would see greater performance in the subsequent days when they are fresh. But overall, this is a pretty shitty video that almost 4,000 people or 400,000 people have watched, because again, there's no protocol, there's no testing, there's just a bunch of like, hey, there's all these things. Now here's how you like implement them however the fuck you want, and you'll double your stamina, which is a complete fucking lie. So I get it. There's marketing tactics, it's all that bullshit, but I just don't think it's very helpful to those who have maybe been around the block a little bit. If you're like never moved your body and don't know anything, yeah, these could be a great sort of introduction, just somewhere to get started. But overall, I think it's a pretty worthless video. So that's me. All right. If you want more reaction videos like this, just put it down in the comments below, and I'll keep it rolling.